So if you go back through the Steelers' history, they had a quarterback who was considered pretty damn good. Won a couple Super Bowls with them. I think it was 4 Super Bowls he won. Yeah, that's Terry Bradshaw. So I took Terry Bradshaw and I added him to the 2024 Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not sure why Zach Frazier's picture's not loaded in or any of the other rookies, but it is updated rosters. It is a 2024 Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're about to find out how good can Terry Bradshaw do for this team. Now that, again, we got the most updated rosters. So let's see. Week 1, they play the Atlanta Falcons. This should be a W. I'm expecting great things here from Terry Bradshaw. Now, I lost. Terry Bradshaw played back in the 70s. And while it was a very long time ago, the game was completely different, right? Back in the 70s, you weren't throwing for 4,000 yards. You weren't putting up 30-plus touchdowns in a year. It wasn't how football worked. So it's kind of fun taking players from back in the old time to the old time. The 70s, okay, listen, I'm 26, okay? The 70s, that's ancient history. Probably not. Anyway, though, my point is, taking quarterbacks from back in the day and then putting them into an NFL world today, which is, completely insane to think how they would perform in today's day and age. But so far, Terry Bradshaw is actually doing pretty good. He's 6-1 going into the bye week. Now, this schedule this year for the Steelers, he is now 7-1. Actually tied with the Baltimore Ravens here. The schedule this year for the Pittsburgh Steelers is very easy in the first part of the year. I mean, reality-wise, the Cowboys is going to be the toughest team, and the Jets will be the toughest team. Then, you have the gauntlet. Commanders, easy. Ravens, Browns, Bengals. Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. That's the gauntlet that is not going to be easy. So right now, the Steelers sit at 7-1, and the Ravens sit at 7-1. Going into the gauntlet. They play the Commanders at that 7-1 record. 4-5 Commanders in Washington. Okay, they win. Now they play the Ravens in Pittsburgh. At least it's in Pittsburgh, so it's a home game. Can they win this? They win that game again. All right, maybe Terry Bradshaw is what he cuts out to be, okay? Maybe Terry Bradshaw is the guy. They beat the Browns. Okay, now they play the Cincinnati Bengals. The fact that we have not lost a game since week 1 versus the Falcons is kind of insane to say out loud. And also, if you were a Steelers fan, this would be the most painful season. Because just to know you could go you could go 16-0, 17-0. Okay, they lose to the Eagles. But for a period of time, you could have been a 17-0 team if it wasn't for the first game of the season. You just started off really bad, and yeah. Alright, so they lose back-to-back games there. Now they play against the Chiefs. It's going to be another tough game. See, excuse me. That gauntlet, man. I don't know how the Steelers are going to survive. Holy crap. They lost every game. Go back. They lost every single game of this ending gauntlet. Eagles, lost. At Ravens, lost. Against the Chiefs at home, lost. Against the Bengals, at home, lost. That is the gauntlet of gauntlets. I'm not a Steelers fan, I'm a Bengals fan, so it's like I don't feel bad for them, but I kind of do. I'm like so torn, man, because at the same time, I know the NFL has absolutely, messed us over as the Bengals for so long. But man, that is cruel and unusual punishments. That ending schedule there. But let's just take a look. Terry Bradshaw, 3,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Also, he went to Louisiana Tech University. He didn't go to Louisiana Christian. Madden doesn't have Louisiana Tech University. I don't know why, but they don't. So I had to make it Louisiana Christian because he doesn't. They don't have his college. Okay, everything else is accurate, but they don't have his college for some reason. 1,200 yards for Najee Harris. As we all know, the real running back of this team is going to be Jaylen Warren. And Terry Bradshaw, I think he has like 60 speed. No, 70 speed. 70 some odd speed. Still got the job done. George Pickens, the Slim Pickens himself. Obviously, TJ Watt led the team. I don't know why the sack numbers are always so low for TJ Watt in some of these franchises. It is so weird because there's no way he would ever have that little stat-wise on a season. But Terry Bradshaw did come in number 7 right there. 21st offense. Defensively, 20th. All right. Well, now we got the playoffs, and most franchises I do for some reason, the team I use end up going one and done in the playoffs. And, well, that's going to continue the trend. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't. I was kind of hoping, I could jinx it into not happening, but yeah, sadly that's not the case. Your typical truly happens all the time. Ravens Panthers Super Bowl. With how good the Ravens are in most franchises I do, because I don't know if you realize this, but they have Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson. It's so difficult for them to, in theory, not win the Super Bowl. Because just like it sounds really OP in real life, oh yeah, Madden understands the same concept, guys. So, Caleb Williams wins Rookie of the Year, which he does every franchise, except for one. I've had one franchise over the last, month where Caleb Williams didn't win MVP. And it was beautiful. But when you have a roster like this, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, and Mark Andrews, Madden's going to be like, oh yeah, no, that's a Super Bowl roster no matter what. That's easily a Super Bowl roster. But again, I don't think they did bad overall wise. This AFC and this freaking thing was stacked. 14-3, 13-4, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. 10-7 and 10-7. There is no area for the weak, man. Usually you have roughly one team make the playoffs in franchises that are 8 and 9. Maybe you have something crazy I'm gonna say 9 and 8. Sometimes you have something crazy in 8 and 9, but not in this franchise. Everybody was good this year. All right, guys, comment down below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one.